Hello, I'm Jill from Copycat Crafts by Jill, and I'm back with another part of this series, my Copycat series from sevenplaza. Margaret did a Gunther B experiment. I then did a copycat of Gunther B, and then I am doing a copycat of my copycat, which is smaller. So I'm going to show you what we're going to be working on tonight. For me, it's nighttime. We're going to be working on this page, and I did work ahead a tiny bit so that we can get it done. That way I don't draw it out for 2 or 3 different parts. We're going to get it all done. So let me get it out of the way, and we'll bring ours in. And this is what we have so far. I do have my little flap in here, and I'm only sitting it up so we can kind of get a reference as to what we have so far. This is what we have so far. So today we're going to be working on this. Now, I already put a piece of paper down, so you can just measure it. I wanted mine, again, really close because this size, as I shrink it, really does make a difference with what I can fit in and how well it looks. So let's get all this out of the way so we don't get glue on it. And this is it. So you cut your piece of paper to whatever size you made. I don't know if your size is exactly to my size, but my piece of paper is, let me get it exact, because I never work with an exact measurement, and gosh knows why. So it's 5 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 eighths. 5 and 7 eighths. And high, now this is just my piece of paper, it is 8 and 7 eighths. Probably because my book is probably 6 by 9. So, okay. So we're going to do the envelope part first, or yeah, I guess it's called an envelope. And I worked ahead on that also a little bit, but I'm going to give measurements and I'm going to explain everything. This is my bottom part of the envelope. Move that out of the way. I did score it at about a 1/4 inch all the way around. That was Pink Monarch prints. That's where I got this print. So Pink Monarch prints, and I left it there so that I could remember to tell you that that's where this came from, because I really like it. So now I can erase it. I like to mark my papers so that I remember to mention whose papers they are. Okay, so this is the bottom part, and I didn't want it flat. I did want it to have a little bit of a gusset, nothing too big and flappy. And I did put the closure circles on it, which I also put tape over it. Now I did make the other 2 for the top, and I'm doing this one a little bit different than the original, or at least my copycat original. For the sake of confusion, I'm going to call this my original, because it is mine. We used, I used these tags, and I dug out the tags. That's what I was going to use because I think that's absolutely cool. Margaret did that, and that's what I wanted to do. However, with this size being smaller, my tags, and this is as small as I can print them, just to my eye looked too big and overpowering. So I thought, okay, I'm just going to do 2 more of these. And to spruce them up a little bit, I just picked the green file folders. I punched them out with my circle punch from leftover green file folder. Then I took the paper reinforcers that I had inked a long time ago and stamped on, and I just put one on each one, and I thought that dressed it up. But I just felt like it was still missing the something. So, of course, me being Jill, I love my tabs. And I dug through my tab bucket and I found these tabs. And tell me what you think. I think putting these on, especially if I do a light stamp of the, I think mine's called bark or whatever, to make it look almost leathery, I think that will look actually pretty cool. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm gonna have to dig out that stamp. This is the set that I made these from. I leave them all together, so I just keep running it through and making one of each every time I run it through, which is why I have so many. And that's how I do it until eventually they start they get a little bit bent and then they start breaking apart. Otherwise, I leave them together. And these I got from Westbound Pony on eBay. And I usually, almost 100% of the time, I link her eBay shop in the description, because I just use so many of her tabs that I always want to give her a shout out, because these are some of the latest ones I bought. And I didn't even get a chance to really play with these yet. As a matter of fact, I only ran them through my machine once. I can't wait to really play with these, but that will be next. Here's some of the stamps that she also sells that I bought that I love, love, love. And this, you will have noticed, is on my original Gunther B. So I don't know if I have any leftover of that I can work in here, but I just thought I'd let you know that's where I got these. But of course you don't need a die machine to make that. All you need is a skinny piece of paper, fold it in half, and cut a V out. You don't even have to cut the V out. You can use it flat. That's not rocket science at all. So that should be fine. I just wanted to let you know also, when I make these, I put 2 pieces of file folder and glued them together. I did put the whole reinforcer on it. Then underneath I have what I call a spacer, because that's what it is. I put spacers on there, and my spacer is, this was thin cardstock, really thin. So I have like 3 or 4 pieces there glued together. And they're really hard to get a hole in because they're so little to hold on to. I have to use my pointy thing to put the hole in. So I didn't want to do that on video, because that's always when you poke I would poke myself. So took the Frady cat way out and did it off camera. So we're going to be putting that on. Then the pocket for down here, I dug out this piece of paper and or cardstock. It's medium weight cardstock, and I'm going to put the pocket down here. We'll get to that after we decide where this goes and how this will go. The other thing I do, this is how I do it, I'm going to put the bottom in of this first, and I want a little bit of space between the bottom and the top so that when this is open, it's easy to get in there. That was Margaret's idea, and that is a great idea, so I'm taking that idea. So I think I want this right about here, so I'm going to glue the bottom first. And I'm going to use my, this is 3-in-1. This is fabric, well, not Fabri-Tac 3-in-1. It's actually this. I had a question. Let me see if I can see. Okay, so this is what is in my bottle. There's also a Fabri-Tac, which I use, but I get this on Amazon. They're 8-ounce bottles. I get 3 of them for like 25 bucks. And that's the cheapest I found, and I go through a lot of this, so that's the cheapest I found. If I can figure out how to link that from Amazon, I will. Whoop, of course, it won't come out right now. Did too much yapping. Okay. So, get some glue on here. Get it down. Trying to get a little more work done in a shorter amount of time because no one wants to spend hours and hours watching someone do something they should have gotten done in a few moments, and I'm good at that. So okay, I hope my head's not in the way. I just wanted to glue the bottom down, and I'll show you why. Does that look a little crooked? Straighter that way. Okay, once I think it's really grabbed, let me just put this pin back in. Okay, once I think that really grabbed, I am going to take a piece of tape. Normally I don't use that tape. Normally I use, sorry if my hands are in the way. Normally I use just regular clear tape, and I tape this down for a couple reasons. One, when you put this up and you have that little piece of cardstock, it never fails. That's when every time you try to put something in it, it catches on that piece of cardstock. And you're thinking, now I know that pocket's deeper. It fit before. Well, that's why. So I put that tape in, make sure it's really down, and then the tag or whatever you put in there should slide over that little bump much easier. So I do that, then I glue the sides. So just a little tip if you think of it. And anytime I put gussets in something with a bottom gusset, I will put tape on it. Now, I haven't always done that from the time I started. I just kind of started doing that the last couple weeks. So, and you don't have to do them there. However, I do like to, this out of the way, just make sure that my pocket edges are not glued. Oops, there's my little thing. Okay, that is good. All right, now this one I want all the way up to the top, but of course it has to measure up with the sides. Let me give you the measurement though of this pocket. This is 5.25 with the thing. It's 2 3/4, but that includes this 1/4 inch like flap that I will glue down. I did I did put a piece of the matching paper underneath. Now I did that because I don't know if you noticed on that. It was white underneath. I only printed on one side and I didn't want white underneath it. And because I knew I was putting these in, I also put in the hole enforcers. I'm going to let the legs of these show. I don't mind that. As a matter of fact, I think it's kind of cool. But I did want to support this piece of cardstock a little bit more, and I just feel that these hole reinforcers do that. You don't need them at all. You could use something else if you wanted, but you don't need them. I just did that, plus it matched the front, so I did it. Okay, I'm gonna you know what, I'm not going to put these on first. I think I'll do that after I put this on. That way I can press and maneuver it. That's what I'm going to do. I did ink everything already. Just wanted to get that little piece of glue. So, okay, I think that's pretty good. Okay, again, I have to bring it to me to see it, so if you get the top of my head, I apologize. Okay, let me just make sure I'm within my boundaries here, because we really are just working with less than 1/16 of an inch there. Okay, so that will open like that. Making sure it's, don't want to maneuver it too much until it really can grab. But in the meantime, we'll get these in. You don't want to squish them too hard right this second. There we go. Okay, then these I'm going to glue on this way. Just show you. I had one that for whatever reason I felt at the time. So I got to try all the sides. I got to try front and back. No, they fit the same. Okay. All right, and I'm just going to glue that there. I just thought that looked good, better than just plain. I thought. Let me see in my M frame. Okay, glue one on. I don't hear anyone yelling, so I guess it's going to be okay. Make sure I get it so that the ends don't come flipping up on me. Alright, this ought to be fun. Move it down towards me a little bit. Push it up as high as I can. Okay, just going to hold it just till it grabs a little second. Oh, I felt some glue. Better a little too much than not quite enough. That's my motto. And that's why I love this thing. But you don't need that, obviously. You just need your finger, because it does, this kind of rubs right off. If you need it to rub off, it does rub off. I was just going to say, and I'll try to be more careful, and then I go and put just as much glue on it. Yep. Okay, put this down. Oops, scooge it over a little bit. There we go. Okay, I think that's pretty good. I think that's pretty good. We'll probably even stamp or do a rub-on number or something, but that's how that's gonna look. Okay, I'm gonna have to go get my string. I don't think I didn't bring my string over. But we will move on to the pocket. Also, let's see about how high do I want it? Probably right along that line I'll work with. Okay, let me get my cutter, paper cutter, right up there. Do I? Just trying to think instead of ruining. I think I'm going to go with this side. And I'm going to go right about there. Yep. Just make up my rules as I go. Okay, this is the piece I'm keeping. I really should just leave that here, actually. Okay. So it would fit on like that, because I like that number to go that way. All right. I'm also going to put a, not a quarter, maybe an 1/8 inch little gusset on the two sides, but over here I'm actually going to cut this at an angle. So I want to remember that if I'm putting a gusset on this side, so I have to remember that, because if I want it to come out about an inch and a quarter, I want to leave 1.5 inches, or a little less than 1.5 inches. So here's 1 inch, and the quarter to the 1/8. I'm going to do an 1/8 gusset. Does not have to be big, so it's going to be right there. And then I'm going to cut it from there down to, I want to gusset on the bottom as well. So how high do I want the bottom? Say 1.5 inches and give it an extra 1/8. Okay. Yep, so we're going to cut it right about there. So we're going to cut from this line mark to that mark. So let's get the, okay, I always have to see where my, oh, there it is. Okay, so from that mark, and where's my bottom mark? I think it's there. So I have to keep readjusting. It's close enough. Okay. Now I have to erase the pencil mark and ink it, just in case there's any pencil mark there. Before I ink it, I have to put the gussets in. So I'm going to get out my little scoreboard. And, oh, how cool. Okay. I knew that. I don't know why I'm surprised. Okay, so we'll put that up. And we want, okay, if that's a 4th. I don't know if I want a 4th. Let me see how much room I lose if I put a 4th in. Not much. Okay, I do want a 4th. Okay, that was easy. I want a 4th here. And let me just fold that in. Then I'll be putting in a 4th at the bottom. Perfect. Open it. Actually, should just turn it around. I don't know why I suffer with it when I can just turn it upside down and do it correctly. Okay, let's put this away. And let's get this. All right, I'm going to cut out tiny corner, so I'm going to cut this at a little bit of an angle, and then add this one a little bit of an angle. Same over here. See, not really taking off much at all. Same here. Boom. Okay, so this will end up being more of a tuck pocket spot. All right. Always walnut stain, that's my go-to. And you just ink it up as grungy as you want it. I like the grunge. No such thing as too much grunge. I like to do the side you're not going to see, only because when you glue it down, you do see a little bit of a lump, bump corner. Okay. This side, I'll just give it a quick once over. Just in case anyone peeks. in the details. All right. That's pretty dark, isn't it? Okay. Let's move that aside. There we have it. Okay, let's fit it on. Let's see how we like it. This will be another one that I will glue only the bottom and tape it. So let's do that. I don't know if I was in frame there. Right up to the edges and the corners. Okay. Decide how far I want it from the bottom, not too far. Over from the side, not too far, but far enough. Okay. Wipe away the extra glue here. Make sure it really catches. I'm going to decorate at a different time, but I'll probably put some kind of label, or tab, I mean, not label, tab, something like that. I love decorating with tabs and the like. I just love using them as decoration. Okay. Make sure that that tape is really down all the way around. We don't want it to be a hindrance. We want it to help. Then this will get glued up. Before I glue it, I'm just going to take my pencil, give it a, there we go. And I'm going to glue it up. Yep. There we have it. Put it up and over. Second, just gonna stick that in there so if any of the glue squishes out, because I'm really pressing on it, and then I'm just gonna run this down. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to go get my string so we can finish that up. So, excuse me, talk amongst yourself. Where did I find my string? This is it. This is the string that I've been using. So, just in case you care. Okay, I'm just going to cut a nice long piece, and we will decide how. I think I'm just going to flatten those a little bit. There we go. Okay. I'm just going to knot it up here. Move her under. Yeah. Yes, don't ask me to tie your shoes. I can do it. I can. I promise. I do promise. All right. Cut that, and let's see how. Okay, so 1, 2. Do we think 2 is good? Yeah. I don't think we need more than 2. It's just my professional opinion. Don't need more than 2. Oh, for heavens, to Betsy. Let me turn it sideways a little bit. My fingers are a little number than normal, than usual. I don't know if any of yous suffer with that, but it's hard to tell where my fingers are when I give them an order. I think they just laugh at me. Okay, back around, and we are going to go 1 and 2. Ah, perfect. Okay, check this one. Boom. There we go. Now all we gotta do is do a little decorating. But it's pretty cool already, huh? Let's see, just to show you, I think I'd like something perhaps green. Could actually, oh no, it's a little long for that, but could put a tab, we could put a ticket. There's actually something like that, but it's pretty cool. That it's like this, but I don't want a red one. And of course, it's not going to allow me to find one. I don't know, since we have round over there, maybe a round one for decoration. I don't know. I'll play with it. I'll play with it and show you what I come up with the next time. But it's something kind of like that. Kind of like that, but we'll see. I just basically wanted to get the page done and ready for yous to decorate it. And I think we did that. I think we did. All right, well, there you have it. No, maybe I'm in my own light now, but there it is. So this one's actually, other than a little more decorating, sprucing it up, this side is done. Because it will get glued in here like this. So we're halfway done, people, because then we start on this one. So it opens like this. So there we have it. Halfway done. Not that hard, right, people? Okay. Thanks for joining me. Stay creative and see you next time. Hugs.